in MS Teams the AlcHepNet folder as a collaboration tool. And let's see, moving forward. For this consortium. So what is important to know is that we really cannot have any protected health information. We cannot share data in this team, but there is another option. There is a team secure that we can create if you think you will be using this for data sharing. However, we can share a lot of files within folders, subfolders, posts, conversation, chats. We can set up meetings, record videos, wiki folders, and so forth. Everything in MS Teams integrates really well with all the Office applications, and there are many other apps and bots that can be brought in. However, the private channels do have some limitations. So I trust everybody has received already access to the team folder. It looks sort of like this. It's very basic. I can bring it up. If you have a logo, we can edit it, and you can edit the logo. I can show you, Savannah. I don't know if you knew that. I can show you this, how you would edit a logo to your team. Here we go. So if you are here in Teams, this is our team. So from Teams, you see this AlcHepNet. If you have a logo, you can edit or manage the team. Here, you edit it. And you can upload here an avatar. So it's, I don't know if you like, can you see all of them? I don't know if you like any of the existing ones, or you can choose one that you create. So here we can create one. So if you want to put this one, for instance, let's see, if you want to add a graph, we can update with that. So now our teams will have a different logo. Looks a little bit happier. Doesn't have to be. I'm just saying, if we want to do that, we can insert our logo. Then moving forward, back to Teams. So you can access it through your app on your phone, through the browser. You can access it different ways, and Savannah will give you access to it if you don't have yet, and she will match you to the right team. Okay. So within Teams, we have multiple roles and permissions at the team level. There we have owners, members. Members are individuals with IU accounts, and guests are individuals with non-IU accounts. And within Teams, we have channels with owners, members, guests. And you could be a member at the team level, and you can be an owner of a channel. So there is a chart that I can share with the rest of, with Savannah especially, so she can assign each one of you according to your desires and how, according to how you want to own these channels and manage them. As you know, we have public and private channels. The general is always a public channel. I can see as private channels only these three. I'm sure there are more, but that is the beauty of Teams. You can structure it any way you want. And within each channel, you have tabs, chats, and videos, and so forth. And I will share again the Teams folder so everybody can see it. Sorry for this go back and forth. It's not that seamless as I would like it to be, but here we are. So if we're in the Teams channel, I hope you can see the AlcHepNet team. We have the general, the subcommittee, the clinical subcommittee, the translational, the IUDCC, and the tabs on the top. Posts, files, staff notebook, you can add it, and you can also add more. It'll probably be easier if I just walk through Teams versus the PowerPoint presentation as much as I can. So you can also add, if you're familiar with I don't know if you're familiar or not with the structure of Teams. On the left-hand side, you have the chat, the assignments, the calendar, and here you have the button for meeting. Those are instant meetings, and you can schedule with the calendar. If I click on this, will be my calendar. It's linked to your Outlook calendar, but you can add a calendar for this group. So if you click on the plus sign, you can add the calendar for this group, and within the calendar, you can create meetings for a particular group. I will have to say that the calendar is available only for the general channel, the public channels, not for the private channels. So that's important to know. So going back to the PowerPoint.
Is that something that, I'm sorry, can we ask questions at this point or?
Yeah, please, go for it.
So I'm trying to find this thing that came from Savannah, and so, and I had Teams on my computer, and now I'm linking in or clicking on whatever Savannah sent, and then now it's asking me if you want to switch to the Indiana University from my own team. So what am I supposed to do?
So if you have Teams, you probably have multiple Teams accounts. So you would click on the link that Savannah gave you in order to.
Okay. And every single time we want to open this, then it's going to be like this, cat and mouse game of sending a text message and putting in a number and all that stuff, or is that just something?
It should preserve your setup. So have you done it multiple times and it did not work?
No, it's just asking me for security verification to give my phone number and everything else again to send me.
So you're setting up your account, I believe.
I do have an account already on my computer through my university. So
right. Yeah.
So am I setting up a separate account now?
So you have to be a member of, so this is based on a SharePoint, right, which is administered by Indiana University. So now you're setting your membership with Indiana University. Once you do it only once, you will be fine. You don't have to do it ever again. It will recognize you are setting up your profile with IU. Yes, it's just kind of similar to RedCap, but it's a little bit easier because you don't have to over and over put in your password. It's once and that's it.
Thanks.
So, yeah, I know.
Savannah, on those lines, I was trying to click through as Janji was speaking, and it wants me to add a code, but in your
and then scan an image or whatever. It's like what and on.
Savannah, did you
losing me
for the folder? Because you can send the team a code. Get link to team, or you can they can set up their membership. How did you set it up?
I'll have to look and get back to you in just a second.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
So for me, it just sends me a phone text, as we get text for like a million things to just confirm our identity. We probably get like 10 or 20, well, multiple a day. So it just sends a text to your phone and you just put in the number as we.
Yeah, but then you did receive notification for this verification. Did you choose that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's on your screen, but once I put in my number, then I said yes, and then basically kind of followed their instructions to just say yes and put in my phone number.
Oh, but then you had to scan this whatever stuff. I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Savannah, you can send it as a.
This is like
that's a one-time thing. That's
well, I know. I just have no clue. I just put it in my phone.
Do you want to share your screen so we can walk you through it if other people have the same problem?
Sure, I love to do that now.
Okay. Is that okay, Savannah?
Sure. I mean, this will help me too, see what other people
Okay.
are seeing.
Okay.
It's difficult for us to know because we're IU, so we don't get these same.
Right. I'm happy to share mine as I'm kind of struggling with this right now, except for the fact that I don't have privileges to share.
I think Savannah can give you those. I actually tried to link to my personal account, and I've gone through all these steps, but I had the confirmation code number versus.
Do you see this, that, how should I contact you? So either give the receive notification of verification or verification code.
Okay.
And
so,
if I do this notification for verification by iPhone, then it gives this image thing.
So then you would scan it with your phone, or you could,
How do I do that? And I'm sure that this is a trivial question, but I just,
Yeah,
You
there's
have
a,
to, oh,
yeah, go ahead, Laura.
yeah, you have to download an app that's a QR reader, and
Okay,
you just
good luck.
hold it up to
Okay,
your
then
phone.
it's not going to be right now.
I would go with the code on the other one.
That's
So
easier.
check the code. That would be much simpler. Yeah.
Oh, verification code, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing.
but actually, Jongi, many other platforms are requiring this kind of scanning.
I
of the
know, it's just
code.
kind of, I don't have it on hand, so
No, I know, I'm just
it's another half an hour I have to find to download.
There is also,
It's-
there should be also a link to next to that code that you could click, I believe.
Hmm.
Mine
Oh,
is,
this code 56340 something. Maybe, okay.
my screen is different because then Jean-Gie's, and it's just asking me for a verification code, which I don't have.
No, but this is it, that it's like if you're unable to scan the image, enter the following information in your app.
Mhm.
Oh, but you still need an app?
In your just MS Teams app, did you
Yeah, you
download
might
the
need to-
Microsoft?
You might need
app?
an IT person once just to set it up. I mean, that might be the other way to go.
So
They
first
just
of all, you
fixed
need
my
to get the
computer
app.
And last week, and since then, I cannot use anything. Okay, so I'm a little, yeah, okay. Well, we'll
Do you want to set it up on your computer or on your phone to begin with?
on my computer.
Okay, so you can go to this link that I share, which is
Okay, I stopped sharing screen.
which is the Microsoft. It's Microsoft.com. So if you go to Microsoft.com, I can share this again. You will see. I think it's important. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the team thinks to kind of iron out how you log to it, because otherwise you won't be using it.
Yeah,
So you go to Microsoft.com or to teams.microsoft.com and you download that, and then you have access to it.
yeah, but I already have Microsoft Teams on my computer.
Okay,
why
so
do I have
then-
to do this twice?
Okay, so if you already have it, I'm sorry, just click on the link that Savannah gave you, and then you will enter the code.
What's the code?
At the one she had on underneath that barcode,
Was 563408766.
probably.
And I'm sure it'll be different for each person.
Yeah, it is
Individual
different.
code.
But is that code in the emails that Savannah?
No, it was something that came up for me at least.
Okay, it didn't come. I'll have somebody from my admin team try to make this work, because so I also, like Jean-Gi, I can't hook in, but I won't bore you right now.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. That's fine.
No, I mean, so we do this for you. So if, so access is a problem, so we have to follow up with that. That's good to know. But the question is, once you're in Teams, even in your own Teams, are you okay with the functionality of Teams? So are you okay navigating the rest of, are you
Well,
okay
without
moving?
having access to it, kind of hard to tell, right?
Has
but
anyone
that's true.
has anyone besides Waj been able to log in? Maybe
Okay.
not.
So we are using this team, whatever. So we received an email from Microsoft Teams saying that you have been added to a guest to Indiana University Microsoft Teams.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and if I click on open Microsoft Teams, then this things comes up.
Yeah. So when you open Teams, you should see a lot of teams. Like I have a lot of teams, and this is
No, it says download the Mac app, but I already have it on my computer. I don't need 3 different versions of the same thing.
you don't.
Or it gives use the web app instead. And if I say I use the web app, then it comes up with all these.
You might just need
That's
you
what
might
we
just
have
need
to
an IT person for, they can probably do it in 5 minutes because many people collaborate across teams, across institutions. So
Okay. Now, does Indiana have to be online for this, or can we do it at any other times?
oh, anytime.
Okay.
Can do it anytime. So maybe I should just
Okay, thank you. Sorry about it.
No, that's all right. I'm just mindful of your time. So I'm just going to go through a few features then, and we'll use the presentation later if needed, or we can go through more detail once everybody gets access. So, because really we just have to be practical here how we do it. So, so you will be given access to, everybody has access to this general. Can everybody see the teams that I have pulled up here for AlcHepNet?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to walk through a few features and then forget about the PowerPoint for now. So we have the general channel. So all these here are called channels, right? We have the general channel is public. All teams come with that. And within the general channel, you have some tabs here and you can add more. You have posts, which as it shows, it's conversations, files where it's like a network file or SharePoint files. You can add file folders, structures, and you can, so here is a folder, you can add multiple files individual, or you can organize these in a folder and give ownership, control the ownership of the folders just like you would do on a network folder. And then you can add more if you want by following this plus sign. You can add different, everything is an app today, so you can add multiple apps. If you want to share documents with people outside of Teams, you can use these document libraries. You can connect to Excel, PowerPoint, you can do analytics. You can create wikis if you want, and we do that in our group for keeping track of meetings, memos, and so forth. Pretty much everything that's here in this plus sign, you can add to a public channel. You can also, if you want to share documents on Google Drive or SharePoint, you can connect to that. Yeah. So that's the cloud storage there. So that's the general tab, every channel, everybody has access to it. Once you see this lock here, this is a private channel. So only few members or select members have access to it. Now, Savannah's and a few people are owners of this team, but they don't have to be owners of these channels. Just because Savannah manages this AlcHepNet, she does not have to be an owner of one of those channels if you want to keep it private. I'm just saying, in case. So I'm going to go to the DCC channel because that's the one I'm part of. And there's really nothing in there for now. So I'm okay sharing. And I just want to start a conversation in posts. You start a conversation if people are not familiar with the sign add here. So you will add, you'll have to type at, and then you can mention, you will see only the people who are in that channel. So in my case, goodness, maybe I'm the only one in that channel. Let me go back to the teams. I'll start a new conversation, and I will email Savannah because she's in this channel. So can everybody see how it looks? So you can see the people who are part of your team in here, and you can choose the one you want, but you need to put the @ sign. If I put the @ sign, Savannah will get a notification alerting her that she has a message from me. If I don't put that, she will get the message whenever she thinks about opening this post. If I want to email the entire team, the entire DCC team, I will have to type in in a general channel, I type in team, but in here, I will have to type in the name of the team, the AlcHepNet IUDCC. And in this case, everybody gets a message. Didn't tell you anything. Sorry, guys, you got the message. Nothing happens, but just wanting to demonstrate how it works. And they can reply. If you are in a general channel, you can send a message. In this case, if you have a new conversation, if you send @ team, everybody gets the message. So everybody has a chance to respond. So that's a pretty cool feature because it saves you time by, when you collaborate. So I think it's good to know that. Are there any questions about how you work with posts? You also have the possibility, the option here, if you want to share a post, if you want to share them to Outlook, they can be integrated with Outlook. As you can see, they have these 3 dots here next to all the emojis. And if you click share to Outlook, all this will be sent through Outlook. The entire conversation can be emailed to someone through Outlook. And you can do this the other way around, from Outlook to Teams and so forth. I'm just going to close it so it doesn't spin forever here, but I just wanted to point that out about posts. All these conversations that are in posts are visible to everybody. They're private to the channel. So to everybody within the channel. If you're having conversations in the public channel, they will be visible to everyone. If you want to have private conversation, you would use a private chat within the channel.
So I just wanted to link this up with the the video calls we have on the Wednesdays. So last Wednesday, we discussed having separate, if you like, discussion groups. So based on the samples that were being used, I mean, some people were using, one type of plasma sample, somebody was using microbiome. So there was the idea that for each of these groups, because the people who are getting samples would make sense if they wanted to discuss various aspects to each other. So who would actually create those channels? Wanzu, would that be you to create a channel for, say, like microbiome and platelet-rich plasma, platelet-poor plasma, cells, things like that?
So may I add to that, so are we planning on having this kind of remote, like whatever, put in your opinion and stuff, instead of actually having a call, then we can have an interactive discussion?
Wait, this doesn't
I'm not sure that we can sit on this channel all the time and monitor. I mean, each one of us has a little more responsibility than doing that.
No. I mean, you could log on once a week or once a month. But the thing is that, and this doesn't replace the calls. Nobody's saying that the calls will disappear, for sure. It's just that, with the calls, often we end up giving kind of spur of the moment answers, whereas this way, whenever we have time, we can log on and give I think like a more maybe, not a spur of the moment kind of but this also, like, for example, Ramon hasn't been on any of those calls, I'm assuming because he has clinic or something. And, we're so many people with so many responsibilities, it's very difficult to find one time where everybody can be. This way, whenever we have time, whenever, basically morning, evening, we can just contribute whatever we're going to contribute. Because I think Ramon hasn't been able to make a single one of those calls so far.
And the point is we have a record of what was discussed, and it's easy to find rather than digging out from the emails.
Nobody keeps exact minutes of those phone calls. The video things anyway.
So come back to your earlier question, Watch, about who created channel. Maybe I will let Janetta to show us first how those channels are created.
Okay.
And yeah, we can certainly do that, but I
Yeah.
think, you
You,
know,
you can, yeah, it's simple. You can add up to 30 channels. So right here, you always start from the general. You can click add channel, and then you give it a name. And it will be good for you to think about meaningful name. And also you assign an owner to the channel. So you give the channel a name, whichever name you want, a little description, and then you decide about the ownership. So if you want it to be private, let's say you want it private, I guess I need to give it a name. So let's say test channel, just, I can delete it. And then you follow the prompt. So you go to next, and I just created a private channel test, and it's asking me to add individuals. So here I will have to type in, and everybody who has access to this and others, you can type any individual you want. So I'm just going to go with Savannah because I know hers, and I can add her. And when you add an individual, it's asking you also, you see here you have, so Savannah, everybody starts as a member or a guest, but you can also assign her as an owner. So it can be anybody. It can be Watch here. He can be the owner, and then he controls everybody, everything that happens in that channel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to suggest that, since like you folks have set this up, that you make the channels. I mean, I think this will just keep it sort of centrally organized rather than like I have some channels and somebody else has some channels. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
That's my suggestion, because I think that would just keep it organized by.
So, okay, so it might be a good idea, Savannah, in this general, to create under files a structure, an Excel sheet or a Word document with existing channels and owners, so everybody can see it as they are being created or removed. One thing to keep in mind as you're creating channels, you cannot move everything from one channel to another if they are private. So let's say you decide that you want to incorporate now this channel into the other one. You won't be able to do that. You'll have to do it manually. It doesn't go automatically with private channels, which is fine. So I'm saying it's just, you can, the same team members can be in multiple private channels, but think about how you want to structure them, because migrating everything from one private channel, they don't move around like that. They don't copy over like a public channel. Just know that.
Yeah, and
So-
I would be happy to set up any subgroups or sub channels that you guys would like. If all you would need to do is send me who you want that in that group for specific this type of plasma versus this,
Okay.
and I can set up that channel for you.
Okay. Yeah, we made a start on that last Wednesday. I mean, it was essentially, the channels were based on the samples and whoever was working on them. So, but they don't need to be exclusive. I think anybody who's interested should certainly join.
Sure, I can make them public, and
Yeah, I think that should be. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. And okay. And also you cannot, you can, yeah, private channels cannot be converted to public channels. Is that what you said you would do, Savannah?
no, I said I could make additional ones.
Additional ones, yeah. You can make up to 30 private channels. That's not a problem.
I mean, we're not
Okay.
having any private conversations here or private data, so I think the privacy is less of an issue.
Okay. I'm trying, I know Savannah mentioned 20 minutes. I just, I don't know if it's, since we're still at this point of organizing and structuring, and I don't know if it would be helpful to talk about files or not.
probably let's talk about the files a little bit, because I want to
Okay.
make the point that
Okay.
the files needs to be organized too.
Right. So I just put a file here in the DCC channel related to the study risk indicators. And I just want to mention that when you open a file, it's automatically, it allows you to work on it, and it saves all the changes unless you you set up some settings. I'm not sure why my computer is so slow. I don't know if you can see the file, so you can just type in things, whatever you want to type in here, and it will, as you can see, you'll have here at the top, editing, editor, a link. You can set up a link to someone. You can have a conversation where multiple people discuss the file and they work on it together. So you have pretty much, it looks like a Word document, but everything is done within the space. It also keeps track of the history of the file. So if you click on the file here, you can see that you can save it as whatever you want in a desktop app in here. It also gives you an option to see all the history. And if you don't want others to, as they make changes when they open the file to save these changes, then you would add some protection to the document. So it always opens in view only and only if they enable editing. So they are more mindful versus just making edits by mistake. And you have also here, you have the option to share with others. You get, if the teams are private, you can share within a team. You can share with others outside the team, but then you have to give them special permission. So just wanted to mention that. When you organize them, it's really very simple. It's just like a project folder. You can create multiple, you can go new here and you can do new folder, and then you can give it a name. Let's say,
Janetta, can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
So this is different from when we upload a file, right? I mean, because obviously we can upload Word documents or PowerPoints or whatever we choose, but this is different. This is creating one within the team system, right?
You can upload a file. So you can click upload.
No, I know I have uploaded files. What I was asking you, this is what you're showing us is different from uploading a file, right? This is, you're creating one. I'm
creating a folder and you can create a file here too. It has absolutely everything. Yeah, you can create a Word document if you want. So as a team, you can work and you can work in this space together and work here. So you don't have to always download. And I really think, I kind of like these here show actions. I think it's really cool because it shows you, let's say you want to work on this file and you have 3 people working on that. You have the option to say pin to the top. And when you do that, you see it here. So once you open the teams, you see it right up there. So you don't have to scroll through anything. Everybody knows that this week we're working on this, or you can make it a tab. You can put it.
So I have another question. So so this was a Word document you created within Teams, right? And everybody can share it. So I understand that. If I were to also upload a Word document, would they show up on the same list? They're just intermixed, or there's like a separate folder for uploaded documents and a separate folder for documents that are made?
It'll be there unless it will show in this under files in the folder you specify or just in the whole list.
I see. Okay, so you can mix and match them basically. It's not that they're not kept in separate places. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to show you something that I thought was really cool, but I know if your team thinks it's cool. This whiteboard app. I don't know. So here you just there are all sorts of apps here, but this is kind of cool. You can add it to channels, and anyways, I added it here. So let's see. I'll leave it whiteboard. You can give it any name you want. I had this one called Brainstorm because so you have a whiteboard, you can actually collaborate together. So people from all over the world, you have collaborate on whiteboard, everyone can edit. And it's really
that is
cool.
That is
It
cool.
is so cool, isn't it?
Really
you can
cool.
add text, you can add graphs, you can make drawings, whatever you want. It's kind of fun. And then you save it. And I thought it's just like having an actual whiteboard. So really,
and so like if 4 people have contributed, can you tell like whose contribution was which? Like who's the best drawer? Like, like who made the best?
I'm sure you can. Yeah, I'm sure you can. But you can have you can have all sorts of things. And I think the best part about Teams is just to kind of play with it. And add more. There's nothing really you can damage. Everything is saved. And the good part is there's a history here for every, you can see for every file, you can see the history. So I think that's good. And you can reverse back to, I can't remember to how many, but you can go back to prior versions if anything was a problem. So
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
so I think it would be good to get a list of questions and maybe address them specifically, so I don't waste any of your time right now.
So it seems like access is obviously the number one thing at the moment. So for
I
some of
think
the
so.
folks, yeah.
Okay. All right, is there anything I can answer for anyone? All right, well,
No,
Thanks so much. Sorry that, and so I'll try to remember these things once I have access, but thank you so much for.
that's quite all right. That's quite all right. It's good to
And
know
I had no clue how powerful this was. So it's going to be good.
Oh, you're going to love it once you get into it. It's great.
Right. Okay.
All right.